Okay, hey, I want to welcome everybody being with us tonight. We're going to be talking about find, fix, and sell. Good topic. And you've got myself, I'm Mark Maupin, and Todd Chung. I said that right.
Todd Chung, yes.
So I got a couple disclaimers we always give. Real estate by its very nature is risky. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We can't guarantee a profit or a loss, and we're not providing accounting or, um, you know, contracting advice. You always need to talk to an attorney or an accountant. Uh, and the second disclaimer is everything we're telling you tonight is a lie. So if you like it, try it on. And that's really saying don't sue us. We're going to do the best we can to tell you what we know. So everything that we do here during the pandemic is we're not charging for it or anything. So these are all free events. And tomorrow they'll be uploaded onto a video and they'll be put on a YouTube site. And if you just Google my name, YouTube, Mark Maupin, it's my channel. It's, I think, if you, we'll send you an email, or if you email me at Maupin, M-A-U-P-I-N .mark, I'll send you a link to the YouTube, and I'm going to send you any forms we talk about tonight. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff we'll be sending you about this later again. But we also have a site called 27 Monthly Meetup. And what that does is any forms or anything else that we talk about, those forms are on that site. And you can get access to them. All of our past meetings for the past couple of years are recorded in there. So it's a wealth of information. And this meeting will also get added to that. So that costs, when we do fire back up, we have actual physical meetings. We do 3 of them a month, and they would charge like $20 or $25 at the door. So if you join the club, you get into all those meetings. It comes with discounts on dumpsters and all kinds of other stuff. So if you're interested in that, take a look at it. So with that said, Todd, so what we're going to be talking about today is find, fix, and sell. And I'm following along here on a bigger screen. Let me grab this. Okay, so a little bit about me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've bought and sold a lot of properties, about 3,500 of them. I ran a national program for charities on liquidating real estate. I've done note buying. I've done a lot of stuff in the past. I've had 350 rental properties. Basically, what I'm really saying is most of the stuff where you'd step on a landmine, I've already stepped on it. And that when you join that 27 monthly meetup, you can call me anytime for coaching. And Todd is very, very experienced wholesaler, find, fix, flip, landlord. Has had tons of experience. He's really focused on wholesaling, and he's an excellent realtor too. So add some stuff to that, Todd.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm concentrating on now is wholesaling and in my agent side of things, you know, being a realtor, you know, we're buying houses off the MLS and working with buyers and sellers but it all kind of ties in, you know, but wholesaling is the main thing, and, you know, and then wholesaling where you get a good house, clean it out, and make it look, spend a little money and go back on the market and sell it, you know. So.
Yeah. And you might need to mute everybody. What we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to go through this and we'll unmute every so often. And if you've got your TV on or anything in the background, if you could shut it off, we'd appreciate it.
Hang on, Mark. Let me unmute you. I gotta find your name. All right, go ahead, Mark.
All right. So one of the things you want to, what Todd just alluded to, that, you know, he's practicing real estate now. I'm a lead generator. So when I send Todd a lead, a wholesale lead, sometimes they turn into regular listings, and I've been in a referral agreement. The bottom line is if you jump into this business, I highly recommend getting a real estate license because it'll make you money plus the ability to comp on prices and stuff too.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to unmute here. If anybody wants to say who they are, they've got a hot deal they want to talk about real quick, please tell us about it. Or if you've got a particular question about what we're talking about tonight, I think we'll pretty well cover everything before we're done. But let's unmute and
Okay.
anybody who wants to talk or raise your hand if you want to speak.
Anyone have any questions about anything? Any deals? What do you want to get out of this tonight?
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll go. Hi, I'm Michael. I've been an investor now for 23 years. I'm primarily on the equity. It's the equity ownership side of the business. I own now 87 doors in Dallas and about 40,000 square feet of retail. I primarily hop on these meetings. I'm from Boston, by the way. I primarily hop on these meetings just to network with people just around the country. It's a great way to meet people, as well as to just let people know that, hey, I now spend much of my time on the capital side of the business. So it's to help investors source money for their deals, be it a hard money lending, which is kind of, more on the fix and flip side of the space, which is what is this meeting about, all the way up to large institutional capital for, the 1,000-unit apartment complexes and things like that.
Right.
Around the country as well.
Nice. Do you do any
That's excellent.
Do you do any investing here in Michigan?
No. All of my stuff is outside of one building, is within about a 1.2, 1.3 mile circle of downtown Dallas.
Nice.
Yeah, and then that's where I grew up. I'm originally from Iowa, so I know the upper Midwest. It's the people in the market in general is pretty well. I mean, obviously not well enough to invest in all the different states, but enough to know the culture at least.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, can you give your phone number out since if somebody wants to get hold of you or how to contact?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll drop that in the chat just to make it easy.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Anybody want to share a deal they got? Okay.
I got 5, actually I got 6 deals today under contract. One was a 5-pack, and I ordered title, got the contracts back, and hopefully I have a buyer already, so that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. All right. And you want to talk about your Facebook and the deals you've got, because you've got a lot of stuff under contract. So how would somebody be able to look at the inventory that you have?
Yeah, if you go on to, you could go into I got a Facebook group page called TC Deals Detroit, and join the group there. I'll accept you. And it's for anyone. If you have any deals, you want to pitch out, or if you have any questions about anything, or if you need any help, I got, it's fairly new, and I probably got about 1,500 members. So I'm trying to grow that, and but definitely got some good buyers and sellers and wholesalers that are a part of that. So that's TC Deals Detroit. I'll put it in the comments here. Okay.
Yeah, if I've got a deal, I can post on your Facebook and stuff too.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, which gets a lot of traffic. And on our meetup, guys, you can actually email out to the whole group any deals you've got. and our meetup's got a plus 6,000 members. And then if you want to ever email me or need help on that, it's my last name, Maupin, Maupin .mark@gmail. And I'll be glad to get it out. And Michael, if you can send me your information, I got some stuff to send back to you on some different people that would probably be interested in talking to you. So, the next thing we've got to talk about is what determines the price you're going to pay for a property, because tonight's about find, fix, and flip. So go back one.
Sorry.
So the question is, does anybody, and I'll let you cover it, Todd, does anybody have a property that you're actually looking at right now? Is maybe like a wholesaler, or you're looking to do a find, fix, and flip? We can spend a real quick minute just showing you how to comp that property out and how to determine the price you should pay for it.
Well, yeah, also, yeah, if anyone has a property, I'd love to show them how to do it. But in Detroit, it's kind of weird. A lot of people may know this, but a lot of things are block by block, and it's totally different. Unless you're in a fancy neighborhood where, you know, we might like, you might know that the houses, the fix and flips are selling $100 a square foot, or 110 or 120, and things in that nature. But if it's more of a rental type house, it's block by block. To give you a quick example, I looked at a house today. There's a brick bungalow on a slightly below average block. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. And it's more just, you can't even, I can't even look at the numbers of what it would sell for. It's more or less, what is the ROI on it as a rental property for an investor? You know, how much you're going to have to put into it, considering what you're going to rent it for, and what you got to buy it. So in Detroit, I try to get the ROI for somebody close to 20% or higher. Because it's in Detroit, I think it's a little more riskier. Especially if, you know, if it's in the suburbs, you might be around 10, 12, 13, 14, 15%. And in Detroit, you're at 20, 18, 19, 20, 25% ROI. So anyways, I made an offer on this brick bungalow, needed a lot of work, and it came down to about, the offer was $8,000, you know. So, but I looked at the comps in the area. There's one house that was fixed up perfect and real nice that sold for $75,000. But on this particular, it was 2 blocks away. On this particular block, you fix it up real nice. It's like, it's a below average block. Who's going to want to buy the house and live in it for 75 is the way I'm thinking. It's not that nice of a neighborhood. It's slightly below average. So it'd be a great rental neighborhood, and no one's going to pay $75,000 for a rental. But if it was fixed up, rented, and everything else, they might pay $30,000, $35,000, somewhere in that ballpark. So, but if anyone has a property, I could go on a real comp right now and just show you how I do a quick search. Well, you could go back to our video from last week. It's on YouTube, Mark.
Yeah. If you look under our YouTube channel, or you just email me, I can send you the link. Every week we do on Thursdays, it's strictly networking, so it's TC deals. So actually, Todd actually walked through and comped out one. The next week's meeting for Tuesday, we're going to spend the whole meeting about how to determine what price you should get into a property at. So we're going to actually use the MLS, do comps, talk about what determines price. So it'll be a really good meeting next week if you've got time to be with us. So,
Mark, I do have one that I could go over real fast. I was just thinking about it. This is a flip property in Detroit. Okay.
And guys, this is another reason then why being a real estate agent's important, because you can get really good comparisons.
Yeah. So we're on the MLS. So this is the MLS here. The property's in a neighborhood called Grandmont. I'm going to show you. It's in Wayne County. So I'm going to go to Wayne County, 14200. The street is called Archdale. And let's see here. All right. So this is a property that is 1,700 square feet, 1,732 square feet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I do a quick search. It's actually a pretty good property. It has, it's on a beautiful block. So first I'm going to do my sold, pending. I like to see what's going on with the market. And on the sold, I do the last 6 months, 180 days, residential and the sales. And I'm going to do a half a mile radius. Okay. That's what I do, a quick search of that. And then I'm going to map it. Okay. So this is the area. You see it's in Grandmont, Rosedale. So on this side of the road, I'm not going to count these houses because this is Southfield Freeway. It's a totally different neighborhood. All right, here's a house down the street. You see this house? This is a 1,600 square foot house, and it's active, listed for 165. Okay, so they must have fixed this up pretty nice. We'll just go through. You got the old character of the house. You got wood floors. Let's see what they did in the kitchen. Kitchen's not new. It's newer, but it's not like granite and everything else. Okay, but these are, this is probably a 4-bedroom house, 3-4 bedroom. But anyway, so there's you see the character of this house here. Let's go back to the map, see what else is going on in the neighborhood. This is 160 here. And I have my house, and this is 1,900 square feet. They're accepting backup offers. 114, 86, 118. Let's see here. 1,700 square foot, that sold for 118. In this area here, we pushed the comps here, 149.9. It's active. 159. This one sold 1,552 square feet. Okay, so it's probably right around 150 to 160,000 values. Here's one for 165, same square footage, pending, good looking house. So that's how I would do a quick comp of that, you know. And on a fix and flip, you're gonna use the higher comps because you're gonna fix it up nice. You know, if I was just hoteling it, cleaning it up and selling it, then I'm gonna be probably closer to the 118, 86, you know, something maybe 116. And then, you know, so you're just making it clean and safe. So, all right. So that's just a quick way of doing it. You there, Mark?
Yeah, I am. I was unmuted myself. Yeah, so next week we're going to get in this in a lot greater detail and do a lot more examples and show you, if you don't have access to the MLS, how you would approach it also. So that's good. So now we're going to get into what type of sellers you're looking for, and it's basically one type of seller. It's a motivated seller. It's a don't wanter. You want to get out of the property. So just some real quick examples. When somebody's headed for divorce or in a divorce, you know that there's going to be a problem in the house. You know, most everybody's on dual income. So when that breakup happens, the property's headed for trouble. Probate is another area. We had a probate attorney on about a month ago. He did a great job of talking about how you would chase probate deals. So if you go on our YouTube channel, that probate video is on there. So that's a good thing for you to look at. You know, tired landlords, and right now with the COBA thing going on, the court system shut down. So what you've got is you've got landlords that can't evict the tenants, and they're major don't wanters. So you want to look for somebody that has a relationship in the district courts, because those court cases aren't published, but they're public knowledge. So if you can develop a relationship with a clerk or a bailiff, in my case, I have a relationship with a bailiff, and he just gave us some leads.
Yep.
Talking to landlords that are motivated because they can't get the tenants out, no income coming in. So tired landlords, or a landlord that's in jail. I mean, that's what the bailiff can tell you, who's headed for jail, what's going on, so you can spot motivation on that. Loss of job. I used to have a van across from the unemployment office with the signs on it that said, "I buy houses for cash." Anybody that's got double house payments where they bought another house, foreclosures, and we'll talk a little bit like the company that Todd works for. There's a lot of REO agents or BPO agents, which means they're doing broker price opinions for asset managers. They're handling foreclosure properties for the asset managers. So they've got hands-on knowledge and a lot of good deals. And so there's a lot of opportunity there. Todd goes to all the foreclosure auctions. He on hold right now. Todd, can you talk about that for a minute when you go to the auction?
Yeah, so I worked Oakland, Macomb, Wayne County, and of course in Genesee County auctions, and looking for pretty much, you know, like a lot of people know, or maybe don't know, if someone owes $100,000 on their mortgage and they're behind and it goes to foreclosure, it might go to the auction for, you know, $60,000. And people just don't know unless you're at the auction. So you got some opportunity to either work with someone and buy it at the auction, or buy it during the redemption period, or buy it on auction.com. There's a lot of different ways of doing that. I came across 2 deals, one today that I got and one yesterday, where they're very, very similar. They both are in pre-foreclosure, meaning, or they were supposed to go to auction like this month, but because the courts are down, they didn't. So they already left the house, and so I got the opportunity to pick up one of the houses and work out something and catch up the mortgage and just take over that monthly payment, kind of get it like on a subject to or a lease option, things like that. So that was one of them. The other one is he just owes too much. I don't even think he's behind on this one. He just owes too much. He owes like $65,000. It's probably worth about $50,000. And the payment is a good payment though. So I'm gonna step in there and just take over that low payment and try to do something with that. So just a couple ways that, you know, you're gonna see more and more of this type of creative financing type deals coming.
So the fact that you're doing wholesaling, really what you're doing is you're stepping in, but you're also you're not trying, you're matching up buyers with those. Like a buyer that's looking for good cash flow, where he's got a real low payment there, he can generate the cash flow.
Right. Or you find a homeowner or someone that wants to own a home, but they have the down payment, but they just don't have the credit to get a mortgage. So they'll come in and maybe you'll do something with them. They put the down payment in, they make the payments and try to clean up their credit. In 2 or 3 years, they could refinance it out, or, you know, make those payments, and they could, you know, buy the house through seller type financing.
Yeah. And Todd just gave a really good tip there. He's going to the auctions, and in Michigan, if you look at the entire United States, there's asset managers handling in different states handle foreclosures differently. So in a lot of states, they go up to auction. It's a bid basis, and you win the bid, you get the house right on the spot. Michigan, there's a redemption period. So what happens is those asset managers don't realize that there's not a bidding frenzy in Michigan, so they'll reduce the price way down to try to generate bids. And what they've really done is they've dropped the price, but there is no bids because it just isn't the way our market works. So Todd's got that low price and that knowledge, but even the actual owner of the property doesn't even realize that that property's been reduced like that. So, and he has redemption rights. So if he can buy the interest of that owner out, in a lot of cases, the owners are majorly don't wanters. They're walking away. So Todd can pick up huge equity in that. So our foreclosure system is great in Michigan, in my opinion.
Yep.
So we're giving examples of don't wanters. So asset managers are don't wanters. They're loss mitigators. So REO property, you can get some great deals if you're working with an REO agent and can get stuff that you can clean up really reasonable. So homes that are going to be demolished in Pontiac, I used to be a good buyer of homes that were on the demolition list because I had a relationship with the city council people. I could get the house pulled off the demolition list so I could get great buys because of that very reason. So don't want her, somebody that doesn't want the property. That's who you're looking for.
Yep.
On the next slide, we talk about what kind of properties we're looking for. As a general rule, you're looking for properties that are, I guess to say it simply, is they're ugly. They're properties with deferred maintenance. There's a reason that a lot of cases that people don't want it. So here I'm just going to give you examples of just to get your perspective right. And when I say ugly, pool, indoor pool. I bought a home in Pontiac. The water is running out of the top of the basement windows. The previous tenant or the person that lost the house stuffed a rag in the sewer drain, and then he broke the pipes to the water, and the water filled up and it's running out of the house. If you let goldfish go, they could just like swim around through the furnace and stuff. Really neat. But that was just a matter of getting the sock out of the drain and letting the water go down, and was a rehab. So that was a great deal for me. One time I went in, now I'm dating myself. In fact, today's my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I'm 70 years old. So I'm in Pontiac, Michigan, and I go into a house. This is years ago, and my feet are sticking to the floor. You know, it's like shh, shh, as I walk. And the lady had a young child, which was down on the floor. They had all kinds of pets, cats. And the most amazing thing, she had all these boxes. And I looked at it and I said, wow, I go, what are all these boxes? And she goes, oh, I have a work from home job. I packed the silverware for the airlines. And I about got ill. I think if I ever flew on a plane, then used to be that they would give you real silverware on a plane that you could eat with. So I would probably have, from that point forward, eaten with my hands. But that was, you know, the house was a mess. So I once bought a house where the lady dumped a load of sand into the basement to have a permanent litter box for the 20 cats she had. That was not a good deal for me because even using stain kill, I couldn't get rid of the smell from the cats. And Todd can testify to this. When a house is full of trash and debris, nobody can look at it and make an offer. They feel like it's a mess. But if you just simply clean the house out, you can add tons of value to it. I know you've had that situation.
Absolutely.
So you got the open floor plan. That's where you're, you know, missing windows and doors. Natural landscaping where the trees are growing in some. This is a house I actually lived in. I bought a house in Birmingham, Michigan, and my wife and I moved into it. But when we bought it, the person that owned that house had set up their own septic. They had no plumbing and they just flushed the toilet and they went straight into the basement floor.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Real experience there, but I got a really good deal on the house.
yeah.
So that's what I'm referring to. You got to really think differently. And what I'm really saying is to get good deals on property, you're going to have to learn how to be a contractor and a rehabber and have relationships. So, so anyway, that's my story there. So then we want to talk about how you market yourself to find deals. So the RIA meetings, when you're back having them, are just what you saw Michael doing coming in from another state. He's a lender. You need to go to different meetup meetings. You need to do the Zoom meetings. You need to tell people who you are. You need to ask questions if you're new. You want to, use signs. I used to market on vacant lots. I would find people who had bought lots at the DNR, and I'd put signs up for them that said I told them I would market their house for free and put a really nice sign, kind of like the C21 signs. But I had a second sign on there that said I buy houses for cash. So at one point in the city of Pontiac, I had signs everywhere that said I buy houses for cash on people's vacant lots. It worked out great. If you've got contractors, you can have them put their signs on their trailers. You want to market yourself by going to seminars. I used to do Freedom of Information Act to get postcards to be able to send to landlords. I still use flyers today, and actually some of those flyers generate leads for Todd and people like Todd, where I put a notice on their house that says I would like to buy it. What's the most amazing to me is when I put the flyers on vacant houses and I say I want to buy your house, I'm interested. What happens is I get calls from people who want to buy that house, and now I'm generating a conversation with them. Yesterday I had one that that could come up with over $5,000 down to buy a house. So now I've got a lead to give Todd that's a buyer, and he's already looking in the area and matching properties. So flyers are excellent. And I leave the flyers on the houses because it's usually the next door neighbor calling me and telling me the status of the house. It's just a very simple way for me to find out. When you're out driving an area, you're driving for dollars. So you're looking for houses, and that you might as well leave something that you're going to get a call back and find out about what's going on. Door hangers you can get magnetic signs for your car. You can get magnetic signs for your contractors. Todd, you want to talk about driving for dollars, because you're out there all the time doing that.
Oh yeah, every day, anytime I see a house that looks like, it's just a eyesore or stands out a little bit, just looks like it hasn't been improved in, the last 25 years. I'm like you said, it looks like someone's living there, you could knock on the door, you can drop a little note, and or you just get the address and you make the phone calls. You skip trace it, and you get the phone number, you send them a text message, you get an email, you call them. Those are really the cheapest and best leads that you could come across, in my opinion. You could, if you're a wholesaler or if you're a flipper and you're just looking for a house, that I would suggest that is the best way, the cheapest and best way to find a house. I don't know if it's the best way, but the cheapest, because it's just your time right now,
Yeah. And there'll be a lot of people listening tonight that you've got a full-time job. You really don't have the time to go out and do the find, fix, and flip, but you've got time that you can generate leads like what we're talking about here, and then work with wholesalers. And I would rather share in the commissions and put deals together that way. I have full-time job that I'm doing internet marketing for some pretty large companies, and this allows me to get the best of both worlds. So I see people that'll do hats and shirts and that say we buy houses for cash. In Detroit, I one time had a community service project. It was outstanding. Well, what really wasn't me, it was another investor. He would go around and take vacated park benches and refurbish them. And then on the back of the bench, it said, "We buy houses for cash." I was so impressed with that. I just had some park benches made and dropped them off on corners with the same sign on it. Some of those park benches stayed there for 6, 7 years. It was outstanding way to market, and we got calls off of it. In fact, one time I got a picture of a guy sleeping on my park bench.
Yeah.
So it's been the service.
You know, right now with everything that's going on, the radio is you could get radio ads and commercials real cheap right now. So if someone, that might be something someone might want to look into if you're looking for houses. So that's just one thing. You just gotta be a little creative. Always tell people about yourself, what you're doing, what you're looking for, and just put it out there, and you'll see what happens. There'll be people. I tell people every day, and I get calls every day. People saying, "Oh yeah, this person, I came across this," or I know that they're thinking about selling. I got one in Waterford I'm working right now that I'm trying to get, and it came from someone in the neighborhood when I was fixing and flipping a house over a year ago, and he called me and saying, "Oh, I found another house for you." So
yeah, Todd does videos from his car, and sometimes he's wearing a mask, and his mask, the COVA mask, says TC buys houses. What does it say?
Yeah, TC buys houses. Yeah, it's on my Facebook page.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So just do that on your COVA mask when you go into stores.
I do.
So,
actually, I do that, and no matter where I go, they're asking me, that's what are you talking about? Or I wear my Brightmore shirt,
yeah.
and then it just strikes up a conversation, and then I start talking to people. Yeah, here's the mask.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's see if it pops up. There it is.
There you go.
Nice houses. Hard to see it, but
yeah.
That's it. Yep, there it is.
So you can do business cards. I buy houses for cash in your name. Radio we talked about. I've done billboards in the past. That was not it wasn't so cost effective. Park benches we talked about, or signs. I do bandit signs. I do that today. And that works really well. The best leads I get are off the internet, which is just, that's what I do for a living. So I'm good at generating some leads there. They're my best. You might even look at newspapers or small papers because it would be probably really cheap to do that. Email broadcast I do. I'll scrape the internet to get I'll buy a scraper for the yellow pages, and I'll scrape all the investment clubs. You can go on a site called Fiverr, Fiverr, and you can go to the yellow page scrapers and buy a list of different people. Like you could buy a list of realtors for an area, you could buy a list of builders, mortgage people, so that people that are in the game that you can email or broadcast to. And then you can do websites too. And I've done TV ads in the past, but that was not effective for me. Not saying it wouldn't be effective, it was not for me.
Right.
So you wanna unmute it real quick just to see if there's a few questions, and then we'll get into how to generate leads.
Okay, absolutely. Let me do that. Unmute all. Boom. All right.
Anybody got burning questions?
Anybody using anything that's successful for them right now that they're generating leads with? Nope.
All right, we'll just go back, and I'm gonna go through some stuff really, really fast. For generating leads, if you've got a relationship with police officers, they know what's going on in the neighborhood and who's in trouble. Bailiffs in your district courts are excellent. District court clerks are great. Funeral homes, people have financial issues. They know what's going on. The number one person that knows everything that's going on in a block, and they know it by the mail. They know the fact that the person's got high interest credit cards. They know when a person's in foreclosure. They know what houses are vacant. It's the mail carrier.
Yeah.
So if you develop a relationship with a mail carrier, that's the gold mine. People on this call right now, what we're talking about, certain attorneys, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys are excellent to know. Code enforcers are great. They know where the motivated landlords are. In some small communities, tax assessors know what's going on. A pawn shop owner, can't even talk, is a good resource because people that are in trouble are going in there to cash their stuff out. Knowing mortgage people, where somebody's going in getting a first mortgage and then refinancing again. Wholesalers are incredible for anybody that's doing find, fix, and flip. Somebody like Todd, or if you go to the different meetings, find the main guy who's really out there, and you really want to get to know him because, and you can tell him what you're looking for and what kind of prices you want to pay, and he'll find it for you. So that's a great person. Real estate agents, certain real estate agents like REO agents, people that handle foreclosures. Owners of charities get properties offered to them, or they've got properties that they can't sell. Our church recently had one they were ready to give away. So that's a good source. Asset managers are the ones that handle the foreclosures for the mortgage companies. The certain brokers, like the broker where Todd works, she has relationships with those asset managers. And once, many years ago, like 10 years ago, I had an asset manager that gave me over 20 properties, didn't charge anything. They were just taking the properties that couldn't sell, and we were able to get them. They just wanted to get them off their books.
Yep.
Auctioneers are somebody that know motivated sellers. Contractors, BPO agents, people in jail. So if you know a jailer, or if you know the bailiffs and they're going to jail, you can get great buys there. A landlord that's gone to jail, majorly motivated. MLS, like Todd, he can search the MLS and look for, handyman special, probate, foreclosures. There's all kinds of stuff that you can use for your search criteria to find great deals.
Yep.
Sales, we just talked about that for a minute. Your local IRS office, when they seize a property, it's posted there. In Michigan, anything that's a contract, a deed for contract, which is called land contract in Michigan, you usually take those back by forfeitures, because of foreclosure. If you do a foreclosure on one, it has to be judicial and can take up to 12 months. So there's great deals where you can get those forfeitures in those district courts. Probate, we talked about. Demolition list, they have demolition hearings, so the people that handle that. You find the people that print the pre-foreclosure list. Freedom of Information Act, it's where you can serve a city. Like I served the city of Pontiac. They gave me a list of all the landlords. ISBOs, HUD and VA, expired listings, vacant homes, the unemployment office, email broadcast. REO network is where any agent that handles foreclosed properties puts a listing so the asset manager can find them. So if you go into reonetwork.com, you'll find the agents that are handling those kinds of properties. I went extremely fast through this. If you go back to any of our meetings on the YouTube, this is broken down and we talk about it in depth and a lot longer, but we're just trying to get through a pretty broad topic tonight. So
yeah, so my suggestion is you pick one or two of these and you try to master it, instead of trying to do a little bit of everything. So see what might work best for you.
Yeah. So, and if you are a person that doesn't have time and you want to get into the find, fix, and flip, use wholesalers, use a buyer broker, like if you've got the financing and you can go pay cash for a house right now, just going right on the MLS and using a buyer, broker, agent, like somebody like Todd, you can get some great deals. You can, if sometimes it's better to work directly with the REO agent that's handling the property and pay the money. I'm going to have to open my door. My dog's whining. Hang on.
Yeah, I came across a property on the MLS that's worth 150 to 155 fixed up, and it needs a lot of work, probably around 30 grand. And we were able to pick this up. This was actually a homeowner that wants to live in it. And so he'll do a lot of the work himself. And he was able to get it for $80,000. And it was right on the MLS. And now he's going to be in a house. He'll probably put 20 into it because he'll do a lot of the work himself. He'll be in a house that's worth 150, and it'll be real nice once he fixes it. And he'll be in it for 100 grand, you know, right in that area. So it's a pretty good deal. It came right off the MLS.
It's good. So once you've got a lead, so what do you do? And I'm going to let Todd talk about that. Why my dog
So we have a lead, and we have some of these forms online, but or you know that we could get to you. You fill out a lead intake sheet, pretty simple, with all the information, the bedrooms. You're trying to get the motivation, you know, their timeline to sell, why do they want to sell, you know, the price, how much they want to sell for. You're trying to get all this information on the phone. They seem to be motivated. You're trying to get a price out of them, and then you set up an appointment with the seller to go out there. Okay, and there's some things you should have with you at all times. A purchase agreement, which I have. You have your seller disclosures, your lead-based paint disclosure, of course, your camera, your mobile phone, because you want to take pictures, you want to take videos. Sometimes you're going to get a lockbox. You're going to have a lockbox, and you're going to, depending on where the house is, and if it's vacant or not vacant, and you know, but I could talk to you later about that, because some houses, you know, it's really easy to open it. If you put a lockbox on the front door of a house, it's so easy to open that lockbox and break in, you know. So if it has a furnace and hot water tank, you don't want to put a lockbox on the house with a key in it, okay? There's tricks of doing that. If I have a house 2 or 3 blocks away, then I might put a lockbox on that house with the key in it that goes to the other house that's 2 blocks away. So if I need someone to go to the house, I'll say, go by this house. Here's the lockbox code, that key's good, and then you go back to the house. It kind of, it makes it a lot, you know, the key's close by. It's like 2 blocks away from the house. That's just one thing that I do there. You know, or I have someone meet them there and show them the inside.
Yeah, and there's videos on our YouTube where Todd's done complete rehabs and walks you through everything that you want to do, and he shows examples of how he secures the doors and everything with special screws, heads, and everything. He's really got it. It's elaborate.
And what I've been doing lately also, Mark, is on my iPad that I bring, I have an iPencil or iPen or whatever you want to call it. And I have contracts right on there, and we just e-sign it right there. I sign it, I date it, I fill it out, they sign it, and then I email them a PDF of it, you know.
Perfect.
And a lot of times, believe it or not, when you do it on your iPad, they don't even read the contract. It's funny, you know, I just say, okay, here's the contract. I go over all the main points of it. You know, I usually cover everything that's on the contract anyway, but they don't sit there and try to, you know, they have to sit there and read it for 10 minutes, you know.
Right.
they feel comfortable enough, they just sign it and I send it and we take it from there.
The other thing that from a lead generator standpoint for me is I record all my calls with a system called Tracker Jack. And so what happens is I could be right in the middle of doing something or driving my car and I get the call. So I'm asking all the questions. It's recording the whole thing. Then it sends me a text with that information. It'll also email me. Then I can just forward that text in the recorded call on to Todd or whoever I'm giving that lead to. So then he's got all the information he needs. And it's also allowed me to be able to flow freely. So
yeah, that is, yeah, I'm going to start doing that with mine once I get my phone back. So that is great tool to have because it's great training for yourself, for others. They can listen to you, how you're talking and communicating with somebody. And it's definitely, and if you, like you said, if you're driving, you don't have to, you could talk more than trying to write everything down, while you're driving or something. So definitely a good tool.
And if you want to email me, I can give you a list of hard money lenders in our market.
Yep.
And if you've got the deal bought right, you'll never have trouble finding the money. So
yeah, if you're a fix and flipper and you're brand new in the business, you might just go to these meetups and you might just partner up with somebody and maybe they have the money and you have the time, or you guys do it together and split everything 50-50. And it's just trying to get that experience. And you do that once or twice, and then before you know it, you got a little resume going on, and you could show other lenders what you're doing and how you're doing it and your timeline, what you learned, your mistakes you did, and so it's a great way to doing things. So it's just a suggestion there.
So anytime you take title to a property, you always want to take it in a limited liability company in our markets, so you're not personally taking the risk. We have a complete manual on how to go about doing that. It gives you step-by-step what to do, how to file your tax ID number and stuff. So all you have to do is email me and I'll send that to you too. And
Yeah.
I'll combine all this stuff when we're done. So anybody that emails me, I'll basically send them out a package.
Yeah, regarding the insurance, Mark, there's a couple. I use Simplified Insurance Agency as one of the companies that I recommend. You could contact me via Facebook, Instagram, text me, whatever works best. I could give you, the lady's name is Katie Holler. She does really well in Detroit. Also, John Spitzig, his insurance group that he has at Farmers Insurance is another one. So there's some good ones out there that we could use. So
Yeah, so types of insurance, if you're going to actually get into rehabbing houses, I used to always get a minimum workman's comp policy. I always had a liability policy, and sometimes I used to use builder's risk because you couldn't get all the insurance you wanted. But the people that Todd just named are great people. And I'm not going to get into the insurance. We cover that in great detail in other videos too. So, so finding a rehabber.
yeah, when you're finding a rehabber, you could use your, of course, you go to Home Depot. I would suggest you go there early in the morning. Those are the ones that are working the hardest, and the ones that are there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they just got up, so you just gotta, I got a couple rehabbers I use. He's there every morning, 7 a.m. He's there calling me, doing a phone sale, and he doesn't go back to Home Depot. He picks up everything. He writes a list the day beforehand. Sometimes you could order the supplies from Home Depot That's a different subject, but anyway. But regarding the rehabbers, and also you go on Facebook. There's a lot of Facebook local groups that could suggest some good people. You could contact me. I got a list of people that I've used over the years. The one contractor that's the toughest right now that I've noticed in the last 30 days is plumbers. I got a lot of people asking me, who's your plumber, who's your plumber, who's your plumber? So that's the tough one. I got a couple, but I just don't have the solid one right now that, but anyway.
Yeah, and there's a few tips if you're looking for, like, let's say you want to, somebody that does siding. How I used to find my guys that did siding, I would drive by a siding job and I would get out and ask if the owner was the contractor that contracted the job was there. If he was there, I'd just tell him, get his card and speak to him. But if he wasn't there, then I would ask the guys, because they were doing a good job, would you work for cash, and see if I could pick contractors up off the job. So it worked great. I found some really good people doing that.
Yeah, you'll get better prices that way for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So now I have an incredibly good subcontractor agreement that was changed over the years from job to job. And if you, I'll add that into what I'm going to send you. I'm not going to try to go through it. In other videos we do, we spend a whole bunch of time going through just the subcontractor agreement, what you want to have.
And the scope of work is so important. So important of what they're doing and what they're not doing. Don't leave that out. And also the timeline, you know, you got to do a timeline of when do you, what do you expect, you know, when do you expect it to be done? And you get them to agree, you get them to initial, and also you got to figure out a payment structure. You know, you never want to pay half up front. You never want to pay it in full, of course, nothing like that. You got to do it on a draw basis, and you always want to be ahead of the game. You don't want them to be the head of where they're at, because you'll learn the hard way, because the contractors always have 10 jobs going on at the same time, it seems like. And whoever screams the loudest is who they're going to take care of. So if you're just quiet and you let, you know, they're really good at say, okay, I'm going to be there tomorrow, and they're not there tomorrow. You got to scream. You got to be, you know, you could be nice, but you could be firm and let them know that it's not going to happen, you know. So whoever's screaming the loudest is going to get the contractor is going to take care of.
So when I dealt with contractors, what I would do is I met all my contractors early in the morning at Home Depot. I bought the materials. I didn't overbuy on the materials, just enough to get their work through that week. Then I just gave them draws on the job. I did not put myself in a position that if one walked off on me, that was going to kill me. So, and the other thing is that all contractors are, when I say all, it's probably not true, but my experience with contractors is they all need immediate gratification. So when that day comes to pay them, you have to go to the job and inspect it. You can only expect what you inspect.
Yep.
Say anything to you to get the money. So you've got to go make sure that the work's being done.
Don't even take them taking pictures and sending it to you. Trust me, I've done that before, mistake. So you gotta either have someone doing that for you, or you gotta be doing it, okay?
So, and then you can be working with a contractor for a couple of years and he'll be the greatest guy in the world, but then all of a sudden,
Yep.
I think he just lost his mind or something.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared to deal with it. So and you will take some losses in this, because it's just the nature of the beast. So you need to do what I call loss mitigation. So that you do that by not Todd said, not paying half down, not, you know, you got to inspect the job, and you got to keep looking for more contractors all the time. So,
It's always, yep, for sure.
okay.
All right, getting a rehab right, step by step. All right, so depending on the property and the type of rehab you're doing, it's going to depend on the materials you need, you know. So if you're, you know, you got to look at, like, what I do, and I wouldn't use Home Depot cabinets. And personally, I have a kitchen lady I use, and these are cabinets at really good prices, probably better prices than Home Depot special order cabinets. And you could get any color, any style. They're soft close, real nice. And you'll put them in $1 million home, and you'll put them in a $50,000 home. That's how nice they are. So
Todd, let me jump in real quick. So everything he's telling you now, he did a full day's worth of videos walking us through houses and showing us those cabinets and telling us where he got them.
right.
Those videos are on the YouTube channel. They're a credible resource for you to see what you need to do to a house. He walks you through houses before the work's done. So I'll shut up and let you keep talking, but all the stuff he's talking about, we've got in great detail for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So really what you need to do is you need to go through the house and spend some time there and actually write up room by room exactly what you're going to do and how you want to do it. You could put paper on the wall, you could write on the wall, and you know, you really, and take a picture of it, you know. So, and you know, and you really gotta go by it. You gotta come back, you gotta check on the work and make sure, you know, it's going as planned, okay? And you don't want to over repair a house, because these are older homes, and you just want to make sure everything works clean. You might update the kitchen, you're going to paint it nice, you're going to, you know, you might spend a little more money on certain light fixtures because it's only $10 or $20 more, and you could get something. Instead of going to Home Depot for light fixtures, you might find another place. I go to a place called Bros Lighting, BROSE. You don't see these light fixtures anywhere. So, you know, you go to, everyone else is using the Home Depot light fixtures, and then you go to Bros Lighting, and it just makes your rehab look nicer, you know, and different. So.
And when you go in the house, you're going to start with the key things, like you're going to get your roofing done. You're going to do your plumbing, heating, and electrical before you start your drywall and your painting or putting your carpet down. You see people get all that stuff out of sequence, and then they've got a huge mess on their hands.
Yeah, you don't want to do the wood floors before you paint, you know, things like that. You know, you definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to put carpet in. Those are the last things that you're doing. You know, the carpet, the floors, you want those to be the last thing, because you'll ruin them. You will ruin them.
So when I would go take a look at a house that Todd had done, you know, you get out of your car, the grass is cut. He's done some landscaping where needed. He's got the storm doors up. You go into the house. He's got the floors all finished. He's got great kitchen cabinets. He's just what he said. He's got unusual lights that you wouldn't, not your standard Home Depot stuff, but stuff that's way higher quality looking. And then start to go through the house. He's done stuff like in the basement, instead of painting the floors, he's actually put ceramic tile into them. You've done a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, so we were doing ceramic tile on the floors. Now we're using the vinyl planking tile, and it looks better even. So it's definitely, that's what we're using now. And we're, we're spraying the ceilings black. I've also done like a medium gray, and I like the way that looks. So we're always trying things and trying to be a little bit different, trying to figure, things like that. I got,
Yeah,
so
but you'll see that stuff on the videos. So
yeah.
check them out.
And one thing that I've been doing this for a long time, and I never been someone, I always said, you're wasting your money when you stage a house. And I do not believe that any longer. I think it's well worth the money. If you're trying to get top dollar and you're fixing and selling a house, I got a couple really reasonable and good staging companies. It sells your house. I'm telling you, it's worth it. All right. Just something to think about. All right.
So again, we're going to refer back. We just had a meeting here where we did do a purchase agreement and talked about all the clauses and all the stuff you need to have with the purchase agreement.
Yep.
I'll resend all that to you guys. But there's some key clauses today. You get a lot more subject to clauses where you're taking over an existing mortgage subject to. The word subject to means that you're not agreeing to assume and pay the underlying mortgage. It means that you've got a don't wanter that's ready to walk away from that house, but you're not putting yourself in the liability position. So walk you through how to do that. When I send Todd out to tie a property up, like we had one that he went to, and now the lady's changing her mind because she got a better offer. So in order to protect himself, there's a clause that allows him to file a claim of interest. And if he didn't have that clause, then he'd be slandering their title. So now he can report a lien against that property so nobody can go around him. So
yeah, so what I do, of course, she just texted me saying she got a higher offer. I'm sorry, I can't go on with the deal. So what I do is then I don't even respond. No response whatsoever. I get that claim of interest filed as soon as possible. Once it's recorded, then I would take a picture of the claim and send it to her by text and let her know that you just can't sell it to someone else. We had a contract, and we're ready to close, and this and that. And then I send the claim of interest to every title company that I know of, just to let them know, that if they, once I let them know, I bet you one of the 5 or 6 title companies that someone else is going to use is the one that I sent it to. So now they're going to see I'm going to have that on there, and either they're going to close with me or they're going to pay me my money that I think, that I think we should get. Excuse me. Does that make sense? Are you there, Mark?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. So
Yep.
So if you're just getting started in this business, you definitely need to get quotes. But after you've done it for a long time, you can almost look at something and know what the prices are going to be.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of doing that. I would say if you're starting out in this, you probably need to try to team up with somebody that's done this a bunch. And I would start out really slow, and I wouldn't tackle any big jobs. Don't ever, if you're brand new, try to take on a fire job where a house has got smoke damage or something like that. You want to keep it as simple as possible, paint and carpet, and just start slow. Don't jump into this. And for sure, if you have some success, don't think all of a sudden you can do 5 houses simultaneously. Just stick with getting one done. There's always more properties.
Yeah, the things that are easy, roofs are easy, right? You get a company, windows, roof, windows, painting. Don't use a handyman to paint your house if you're fixing and flipping it. Okay, everyone could paint. You want a painting company that knows what they're doing, that's going to prep the walls. Don't use, a handyman to fix your wood floors. Use a company that's all they do is wood floors, and it's going to come out perfect. These are the things you need. But if roofing, you're going to use a roofing company. You're going to get a price. You're going to know what price they're going to pay. Usually, you should be paying $250 a square. That's with labor and materials. $250 a square. You might get it a little bit less. Okay, I get it for less. So when you're starting to pay $300, $350 a square, it's too much. Furnaces, hot water tanks, easy. Those are easy things. You could figure out what the pricing on those are. But so those are the type of things you want to maybe in the beginning. And feel free, if you're brand new to it, try to find someone at a meetup or something that's doing fix and flips and say, how can I help manage this project? Can I come by here every other day or every day for an hour? I'm sure I would let anyone do that. Can I make Home Depot runs for you? Can I do this? Can I take pictures at the end of the day or in the morning for you so you know what's going on? All right, that's creating value for somebody, and in return, they're going to give you value. You're going to learn. They'll tell you everything that you need to know. So that's just a couple pointers there.
Yeah, and then what it should look like afterwards. I'm going to send you some videos of exactly what it should look like afterwards. So
Yep.
That'll give you the look. So then your exit strategy is just basically what you want to do. If it's is it to rent? Is it to sell? Do a lease option? You got to, in our case, we were talking about find, fix, and flip tonight, so it's to sell. So,
well, sometimes, Mark, you got to have another exit strategy, because if it takes you 6 months, 7 months, 8 months to fix it, and now the market shifted and you spent way too much money, you might have to do a land contract or lease option or something, or rent it or do something. You got to have some exit strategies, some exit strategies.
So we've got a video on lease options where you can actually put the tenant at risk. So we show you how to get where they don't have all the money to put down. You take a note, but you can structure it so that they're paying above market rents and they're majorly at risk, so that you've got a nice fixed up house that doesn't get destroyed. So
yeah.
So we alluded to this today. It's I think very important that you work with a real estate agent, and that you need to get a license if you can do it. A title company, a good friendly title company to work with, Todd, would be who right now?
Yeah, I use Speedy Title is who I'm using, and they'll come and close the loan wherever. And I also use Detroit Title and Escrow is another title company. Those are my two go-to title companies that I like. So
and I'll tell you something, both of those title companies understand, in Michigan, there's a lot of property that's sold by, the tax auction or the tax deeds. So they understand how to clear title. In a lot of cases, they can get the title cleared, and you don't have to pay for a quiet title. So using them makes total sense.
Yeah. And if someone's buying and flipping and buying properties in Detroit, a lot of title companies don't like to do those type of loans. They will, but they're just a pain in the butt. So you got to use someone that has that experience.
And if you're a brand new investor, you need to definitely latch on to experienced local investors. So.
Oh, did I move it? Sorry.
No, you're all right. Go ahead.
Okay.
I really want to get through it and open it up and see if anybody's got questions.
Okay. Oop.
You want to look for an accountant that goes to a lot of the real estate investor meetings.
I think Frank Alcini, you could look him up on Facebook. He's a really good CPA, accountant, taxes, very investor friendly. There's a couple other ones that a lot of people use also. There's, you know, but you want to find someone that maybe does real estate also, you know, or at least that's their main focus and working with investors, you know, that with rentals, and that's really important. Same with attorneys. There's a lot of attorneys that have no idea what a wholesale deal is, or just have no idea. So
we've got videos with 3 or 4 local attorneys that are all experienced that you can watch, and you can get a flavor by just listening to them answer the questions. So,
yeah.
And then eventually you're going to need hard money lenders because you're going to run out of your own money. So,
Yeah. And and they always contact me. I got a couple really good people and companies that I deal with. If you're looking for a business loan, if you're looking for fix and flip, they have all different type of loans out there. That, you know, it's really I sent quite a few people there, and it seems to work out.
what phone number do they call? What phone number do they call to get hold of you?
For me, and I'll put it in the notes also, my cell phone is the 248-497-9195. 248-497-9195.
Right.
That's my cell. Or like I said, you could go to TC Deals Detroit and you can message me. And I'm also on Instagram. I forget what my handle is, so I'll get that.
Okay. And just a few final tips. If you're serious about getting into this business, we highly recommend you getting a real estate license. There's a couple places you could get it. One is Namir George. They're excellent. Todd's even got coupons for them to save you some money.
Yeah.
Middleton's another good facility. What you don't want to do as a real estate investor is find one that's online national training, because then that's going to be the hardest test to pass in the world, because other states have more regulations and different regulations, and you're studying for all those. You want to use local ones like the 2 here.
Yeah, and I know
So these guys have
Michigan Institute of Real Estate, they did, with everything that's going on right now, they have started a virtual class. You could do it online, but it's virtual, and you could actually interact with each other. So
Yep.
you stay at home and you could do it, and I hear a lot of good things about that. So, but again, if you're interested, just reach out to me. You could call, text, whatever, email me, and I got coupon codes. I could give you some study information. I could tell you all about the company that I'm with. Villa is a great place to, not just for, it's good for experienced agents, but it's a really good place for new agents also, because we have a lot of good training. We have a mastermind group once or twice a month, and we have weekly training videos, and you get a Facebook page through as an agent. There's a lot of great things that we got, and then I would show you how to use them, because you know, I would help you. You sign up with me, and I want you to be successful. So.
Okay, and that's everything he just said.
Oh yeah. Instead of reaching out to Maureen, reach out to me. You know, that'd be the best. I'm
All right, and we're going to send you this PowerPoint too.
Yeah.
So, but you got to have to email us, either me or Todd, and then I'll get it out to you. So if you got value from tonight, we'd love you to sign up for the meetup site, leave a positive comment, and you know, refer other people here. And we're going to open it up for questions now. I hope you guys got some value. I know we went through a lot of stuff really fast, but a lot of the video stuff I'm going to send you will slow it down, and you'll get a lot more details. So.
Yep. Let me unmute everyone here. Talk.
And you can check the chat too.
Oh, here it is. I see it. All right. Unmute. Oh, boom. All right. So everyone should be unmuted. Yeah, feel free to just anything about real estate. If you got any questions, or if you got anything happening like now that you need help on, let us know. Maybe we could, give you our point of view and see how we can help you through it. Come on. Any questions out there? Anyone looking for flipping? Who wants to be a flipper? Who wants rentals? Who's
Lead
just
generation.
wholesaling?
There's no dumb question.
Hi guys, my name is Amanda. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey Todd, how you doing?
Good.
Good, thank you. I have a question for you. When you're comping your properties, are you using homes located on the MLS?
Am I using what? I'm sorry.
Properties for other comps from the MLS system?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going right off of the MLS.
Gotcha.
Do you have any particular properties you want me to do a quick check on?
No, not yet. I just
Okay.
wanted to be sure I was looking at the correct comps.
Yeah, so I definitely use the MLS. And again, a lot of it also is if it's in a bad area, let's say, so in my mind, when I think of a bad area, then it's not going to be a flip. It's more or less going to be a rental for somebody. Okay. And I got to get it cheap.
Okay.
What the comps are in the area. A bad area, I'm not paying, it's not worth 20 grand, So I got to be under 10 grand on those type of homes.
Okay. Got
So
it.
sometimes you can't use the comps in those. But I'll tell you what, houses as a real estate agent in different cities like Dearborn Heights, Redford, Garden City, Taylor, Oak Park, outside of Detroit, on the outskirts of Detroit, houses are flying off the shelf at high values, over asking, and some are nice. The ones that are nice are going in one day. The ones that aren't that nice are still flying too. It is definitely a seller's market right now.
Nice.
Are you a real estate agent, Amanda?
Yes, hi, it's Amanda that's been bugging you. I just joined with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. She's a real estate agent with Villa. We're working on she's working on doing some wholesaling and also some things like that. So.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Hi, Latina. You're about
Hi,
to say
Todd.
something.
Yeah, yes. So I met you last year at a meetup. I am a real estate investor and I'm also a landlord as well. So I just, I purchased 2 flips, my first 2 flips last year. I sold one in March of this year. I'm still working on the one that I have right now, which we're almost done with it. I am working on the next deal. So I would like to maybe work with you at some point and just kind of see what you can find for me.
Okay.
I live in Pinckney. I'm kind of out there, but my first flip was in South Lyon. The other one was in Milan. So I'm kind of all over right now, but wherever there is a deal, I'm willing to, take advantage of it and go for it. So
I recall, I think, I remember you're buying a flip out there like South Lyon or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome. Did you learn a lot?
I did. I learned a lot, and I'm still learning, but it's great learning experience. I'm actually having fun with it, and looking to continue. As much as I can. I told my husband, I said, every flip we do, we need to buy a buy and hold. So I was able to buy a 3-unit last year, and I actually just purchased, well, back in January of this year, I purchased a land in Detroit. So first time being in Detroit, but it's a good part of Detroit, West Side, District 1 area. So the neighbors are pretty cool. I've already met them, and it's my rental in Detroit that I'll have.
Nice, nice. What, you don't have to tell the address. What street?
On Coyle,
On
near
Quay-
Puritan,
Okay.
Puritan and Grand River. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to see what I, can find you for a flip.
Yep.
Actually, we're working on one on Silver Lake in South Lyon,
Really?
trying to pick up. So
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we have to talk because I'm right down the street. That's right in my neck of the woods.
yeah, who's gonna sell your house for you?
Um, I have a friend of mine who I actually partnered with. She's also a realtor.
Okay.
So we kind of partnered on this deal for Milan just because it was just a little bit easier since I was doing
Yep.
2 deals at one time for my first time. I said I needed someone who had the money for the acquisition for the Milan property, and I had the money for the repairs. So she's also a realtor. So we've been kind of working it that way. But I know you're a realtor now, so which is good to know.
Yep.
So maybe we can work something out to where, if
Yeah.
you get me the deal, whatever, we can kind of work something out with that. So
Sure, for sure. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
hmm
And I got one in Northville that I'm working on right now.
okay.
It's a big one. It's like it's probably a $600,000 house. It's not horrible at all. It's got a good roof, windows. It needs work though, but it could be a $100,000 profit for somebody,
Right.
But
Well, I'll definitely give you a call because I'd like to talk to you further about that.
okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else got any questions or any flips or any, I guess, wins or horror stories? I got a lot of those. One of my things for flipping that I won't do again is a historical full rehab type deal.
Okay.
Nope. Learn my
Yep.
lesson.
Oh yeah.
Some stuff that we're going to be talking about coming up over the next couple of months. We're going to talk about note buying and how to find note buyers and how to create contracts you can discount out of. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can market yourself as a real estate investor on the internet to be able to generate calls to yourself. We're going to talk about real estate donations. We're going to talk about landlording on a meeting. Then next week, we're going to be talking about how to use comp stuff out and determine buy price and stuff. We're going to talk about lease options. We're going to talk about using an advertising agreement to control property. So,
I came
talk
across
about credit repair too.
this week. Last week rather, I came across 3 houses that I'm working on them donating it, to driving successful lives. They're houses that aren't really worth anything. So,
Well, thanks.
but I mean,
It better be.
they're worth a few $1,000s, but we're not.
Yeah, well, that'll work.
The donation side of things,
Yeah.
it's you're getting houses for $1.
Yeah.
You could sell them to the neighbors. You could do all kinds of different things.
You can.
So of course you want better donations than that, but unfortunately,
Yeah. If anybody gets into a house out there where you're totally upside down and in trouble, your exit strategy is going to be to sell it on terms. So you want to
Yep.
Anybody in that situation, feel free to talk to us. So,
Yep.
and anybody that's gotten in trouble, because I've been in trouble a bunch, feel free to talk to us. Like sometimes starting over is the best thing you can do. So just don't be afraid to talk to us. I've certainly stepped on a lot of mines. Not today.
Me too.
Thank goodness. Yeah. The hardest lesson I ever learned in this business was I had all kinds of business partners. My best partner was my wife, but it took a lot of years to figure that out. So anyway.
Yep.
Okay, I guess if there's no more questions, we can probably end it, right?
Yeah, any more questions? Going once? Twice? Anyone?
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, everyone have a good week.
Yep.
You too.
Feel free to call me if you need any help with anything, any deals.
And I'll be reaching out to you this week.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Okay, bye.